A hot air balloon drifted over the waters of the southern tropics. Its passengers were two adventurers and their daughter. The daughter, a 12-year-old named Alex, was trying her best to ignore everything going on around her. Most people her age would jump at the chance to fly in a hot air balloon. Alex wasn't like most people her age. It's true that her parents were always the first to volunteer for a dangerous experience. Finding a new species of snake in the Amazon, or searching for ancient murals in deep, dark caverns were the sorts of things they enjoyed the most. They hardly ever came to any harm. Meanwhile, Alex was invariably the one bitten by poisonous jungle creatures and falling into pitch-black holes in the ground. The pitch-black holes she managed to fall into never had any cave paintings in them either. The only thing she feared more than her parents' dangerous exploits was the idea of disappointing them, so she came along and never mentioned her fear of everything they loved, at least not aloud. Alex, huddled at the bottom of the hot air balloon basket, began a new list in her journal of things that terrify her. Fears, she wrote. 1. Falling from a great height. 2. Seagulls. 3. Swimming. This entry was circled. 4. Drowning after failing to swim. The list grew as she listened to things around her that she had no control over. Strong wind, she wrote. Hot air balloon burners. Parental cajoling couldn't stop her. Look how high we are, they said. Stop writing and enjoy the scenery. Her mom had said countless times how Alex's secretive writings were a way to cope with chaos. Overanalyzation. That last one wasn't so much a fear as it was an annoyance. The list grew and grew while she waited for something bad to happen. She didn't have long to wait. The hot air balloon appeared to be losing altitude. Her father reasoned that there must be a puncture somewhere. Alex added air leaks to her list of fears. They were almost skimming the water when Alex's mother finished inflating the life raft. She threw it overboard and jumped after it. Next went Alex's father. When they were situated, they beckoned Alex to follow. "We'll catch you," they called. She truly was about to jump, despite every fiber of her being telling her not to. But that's not what happened. A gust of wind is what happened. The wind knocked her to the bottom of the basket, sweeping the hot air balloon away. The gust turned into a gale. When Alex regained her footing, her parents in their life raft were just a dot on the horizon. All she could do was hang on while the quickly shifting weather knocked the balloon around. The sky erupted with heavy rain. The hot air balloon was carried off above tall, angry waves. Cold rain pelted her. She began to shiver. Returning to her spot at the bottom of the basket, Alex waited. She waited for something worse to happen. Terror eventually gave way to sleep. When she awoke, Alex found the hot air balloon basket was laying on its side on a sandy, sunny beach. The hot air balloon itself was completely deflated, wrapped around a few palm trees, gently blowing in the warm breeze. Alex explored some of the beach, starting with a bush full of greenish-yellow fruit. Some were obviously ripe. The sweet smell made her stomach growl. However, strange fruits automatically made it onto her fears list, so she moved down the beach to see if she could find other things, such as a boat waiting to bring her back to civilization. By dusk, Alex had discovered many plants, birds, small lizards, and quite a lot of sand. What she hadn't found were other humans, or a way off the island. There was still much more island to search, so she hadn't given up hope yet. On a brighter note, she was proud to have conquered a fear. Alex jotted down strange fruit, just so she could check it off the list. She also wrote odd-looking vegetable and bitter blue banana, and then wrote a small description of each. Before the sun completely set, she took stock of the things that crash-landed along with her. She noted everything that might be useful into her journal. Items, she wrote. 1. An empty champagne bottle with cork. Her parents hadn't let her drink any. 2. A toolbox with various tools. 3. The hot air balloon basket. And 4. The balloon itself. This last item she planned to roll into a big ball and sleep on. Before doing that, Alex tore half a sheet of paper out of her journal and proceeded to write a letter in the dying light, pleading for help. After all, she reasoned, this is what castaways did, didn't they? When Alex finished the letter, she neatly rolled it up, inserted it into the champagne bottle, and recorked it. Recorking took more time than she thought it would. Without getting too near the water, She was afraid of it, after all. She pitched the bottle with all her might. It flew quite far, plunked into the water, bobbed back up, and slowly floated away on the outgoing tide. Pulling the silky balloon fabric from the palm trees was a surprisingly easy job. Falling asleep was even easier. She was out before she could remember her fear of the dark. Another one to scratch off the checklist in the morning. During the night, Alex had a visitor. The visitor loomed over Alex, studying her, considering what to do about her. The visitor was deeply irritated by Alex's presence. Alex shifted in her sleep, dreaming. The visitor left, for now. She would come back another time and do something about the newcomer. Of that much, she was certain.
That concludes the preview of Message in a Bottle. You can experience the rest of Alex's story by following the links in the description.